Everybody, welcome back to Falcon Plays, what is this? What am I playing at this point? What do I play? What do I even play? There's so many games that I'm playing. Rimworld Alpha 4. Welcome guys, welcome back guys. Sorry for the slight interruption there, the ignorance on my part there. I know what I'm talking about, I know what I'm playing. Whatever. Welcome back. We have a few renames before we get involved in anything else. Moldad's still knocked out, unfortunately. That was a pretty scary raid, I'm not gonna lie about that. But in the process, we did get two new people who are actually in prison, as you can imagine. So we have Harry Studios. Harry is back in the flock. Welcome back, my friend. And we also have Dark Alex. Dark Alex has been waiting for a long time now to get involved with the colony. And Dark Alex, I'm so glad that you're finally in here because you're very active in every single video. Here's the thing about me, guys. I'm not a big channel whatsoever. I started off really small, as most channels do. I used to fucking average like, what, 3, 4, 5 views a video, and probably not even real views. They were probably just like quote-unquote bots, just checking out my videos and just dumping them off. When I started doing Rimworld and Neo Scavenger, I started getting a little bit of a following, and it was all due to you guys. So before we do anything today, I just want to say thank you for that, because honestly, if not for your support, I would still be hanging out somewhere like in page 95 in search results. And just kind of hanging out and talking to myself for like hours on end without anybody actually watching my videos. So, Harry Studios, I do remember him for a while, and Dark Alex is relatively a new viewer, but is really active in the comments. And unlike a lot of YouTubers, because I'm not fucking ginormous, I actually really keep in touch with whatever you guys are telling me. Comments, advice, tips, even negative responses. It's cool. I don't care what the hell you have to tell me. I'll still read it. And I'll still reply to you. I don't really care. Like, you know, if you're taking the time out of your own busy schedule, I'm not talking about my schedule alone. I'm talking about everybody's schedule. You guys are busy. I'm busy. You take the time out of your own day to actually watch my videos and, like, you know, either leave advice, leave praises, leave negativity. It's fine. You're taking the time out of your own busy schedule to actually talk to me. And that's cool. So what do I do with that? Well, I actually get back to you. Normally, every single day, I'm an insomniac, so it kind of helps out quite a bit, as you can imagine. But I go through my comments and I read them out, and I'm just kind of like, oh, this person had this to say. This person had this to say. It's cool. I'll read it. I'll respond to it accordingly. Whatever. It doesn't have to be positive. It doesn't have to be negative. I don't care. As long as you're putting the time and effort in yourself to talk to me, I'm going to do the same to you, because obviously you're going out of your way to leave me advice or criticism. I'm going to respond to it because it's the least I can do. So, kind of a tirade, kind of a little bit off the subject here, but what I wanted to get at with that is that, you know, Dark Alex and Harry, people that I actually recognize from the comments, so I'm really grateful that they're involved, because, you know, if you are really active in the comments, believe me, I notice. I know who is active, I know who is not. That's why usually when I rename people, I ask people, hey, if you're still watching, let me know, because I'm not really sure. But sometimes I don't ask people if you're still active, and why? Because I know for a fact you're active, because I check my comments on a every nightly basis to get back to you guys. So that's the reason why I'm saying this, and you know, it probably seems kind of weird. Let me get forward in time a little bit here, but I just want you guys to know and understand that I do pay attention to the comments, and everything you guys have to say, whether it's positive or negative, believe me, I'm reading it, and I'll get back to you regardless of which. I'm not saying because I read the comments, just leave me positive comments. If I'm doing something wrong, I expect you guys to let me know. Falcon, you're fucking this up. Alright, cool. I'll fix it. Falcon, you're doing this wrong. Cool. I'll fix it. If I can. But if you're asking me like, Falcon, do this specifically like I'm saying, for my own reason, I probably won't do it. Why? Well, because everybody has their own gaming style, right? Like, I don't necessarily, I don't min-max this game, right? Let me go into security really quickly here. I don't min-max Rimworld whatsoever. I have success in Rimworld, I do. But that's because I'm really cautious about what I do, so I kind of know the basics to kind of keep myself alive. But people usually be like, Falcon, if you did this and this, you'd have this much food. Apologize there, I kind of burped. Falcon, if you did this and this, you'd have so much metal. And I'd be like, yeah, I understand. I know what you're getting at here. The thing with Let's Plays is a little bit harder, because you have to actually pay attention to what's happening in the whole screen while actually keeping an audience entertained. I like to think that for the most part, even though you guys know that I'm not the best player around, I try my best for one, and I've improved over time. If you watch my Alpha 1, or Pre-Alpha, let's say, Pre-Alpha and Alpha 1 series, and even Alpha 2, and watch what I do now as opposed to then, you'll be like, Jesus Christ, is this the same person? And you'll be like, nah, it can't be the same person. Because I used to be really dog shit terrible, because not only did I enter the series blind for one, number two, I entered it blind and just kind of having to think about keeping you guys entertained, which is a different aspect altogether. I could talk and talk and talk. Whether you guys are entertained or not, that's a different thing. I'm not the type of entertainer that kind of amuses you guys with bullshit jokes or like face cams and like, you know, scary, oh, I'm so scared face cam. You know, I try to amuse you guys with like my own, I guess, observations. I make observations every now and then. I'll talk about pop culture here and then. That's what I try to entertain you guys with. I don't really put up an act. Like, what you get with me is what you know. Like, if you were to talk to me right now in a comment, you left me a message, and if you knew me in real life, this is how I would usually act. I don't really put up a front. This is how I am. So I don't try to bullshit you guys. I don't put up a front. Like, you know, this is how I genuinely am. Like, you know, if you hear me say something funny, just realize that it's just Falcon being natural. If you hear me say something boring, I'm just being natural. Unfortunately, I can't be funny 24/7. I'm not a clown. If you guys have watched Goodfellas, I'm like Joe Pesci. I can't be like, you know, what do you mean it's funny? Huh? It's funny? Like I'm a clown, I amuse you? Huh? And then you have, who is it, Ray Liotta freaking out and be like, no, it's just funny. It's like, so you're saying I'm funny? Huh? I'm a clown, I'm here to amuse you. It's like, no, what you say, the way you tell me stories, it's funny. And then I'll just be like, I was just joking around, man. It's cool, you can laugh. Believe me, if I see something hilarious, laugh. It's cool. It's all good. It's all for everybody. We have a raid. They're attacking immediately. How many is it this time around? Not... Oh, never mind. That's quite a big raid. I only counted these guys and I was kind of like, oh, 4? That's not too bad. Or 5? Apparently I can't count. 4 is 5 to me. And I saw these guys kind of like, oh, holy shit. Turrets are going to probably go down. I'm so pissed about these turrets, by the way. I added these mods thinking this is going to be pretty good. I'll get more people. Dude, they go down too fast. They don't survive. We're looking at what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 people. That's not really good. Did we collect the guns? I think we kind of relatively did, but I'm not entirely sure if I did or not. So there's a lot of people without guns. No, we didn't. The guns are still hanging out over here. The Pila and the short bow anyway are. So what do? Well, we hope that our turrets do the best of our job. And if anything, here's what we're gonna do. If we can. This is kind of a big ask. What we're gonna do is, not a big ass, but a big ask. There's a K at the end of this. We'll do sandbags, like, boom. Alright. We're gonna let our turrets fend for themselves. They're gonna probably go down, obviously. That's what turrets do. They love going down, especially against multiple targets. And they like to miss a lot. Yep, there goes one already. Yeah, that was a waste of good metal, right? Wasn't it? That one's about to go down, too. That's alright. Just weaken them to a degree. Here's what I heard. I heard that my mod about turrets is not the best case scenario for a Cassander Classic because Cassander Classic throws more raiders at you depending how many people you have and how many weapons you have. The non-lethal turrets, in case you're doing it for yourself, listen to my advice. If you're doing non-lethal turrets, do it for Randy Random because it works out pretty good because Randy Random throws random amounts of raiders at you. So most of the times it kind of works out. If you're doing something like Cassander Classic, not good because she'll throw raiders at you according to your numbers. So, just an FYI, keep it in mind. I knew what I was getting into when I did this, and you know, whatever. I'm not too scared about the metal situation. I think we'll be relatively okay, but right now we're about to come in and do a lot of havoc on us. So what we're gonna do is Woodard. Let me recruit you. You have a Mauser 696. Cool. Go and hang out over here, my friend. Two-Face, what do you have? Nothing, absolutely nothing at all. Let me recruit you and have you go inside. Alright? Batman, you have a Glock 19. Let me have you hook up right about here. Alrighty? Anderson Pena, you have absolutely nothing at all. Go inside. Moldad, you have absolutely nothing at all. Go inside. Tiny, Mauser, good. Hang out over here. Alrighty? Shinobi, Glock 19, good. Hang out right about there. Ricky Desmond, nothing. go behind here, I would say. Pena, you already recruited. Two-Phase, Woodard. Make sure who's recruited and who's not. Ricky Desmond, all good? Okay. That's not everybody though. Jackie Boy, yeah. Jackie Boy is really good to go. Jackie Boy, let me hook you up right about... Oh man. What about... Nope. Interesting. Alright, so go... Yeah, I guess go over here. If you can. Tiny, you're already doing something. Who is not doing something? Nab. Has no weapon, but Nab, I want you to be ready for a little bit of an assault if you get the chance. So how about you hook up right about here, I guess. Toxic Monkey, you're still hurt, so just keep doing whatever you're doing. Alright, so they're inside now. Maybe our turrets and my guys will do something about this, hopefully. We'll see what happens. Grenade, Badman, run like shit. Tiny, run like shit. Okay, we have one knockout already. Hilgers with 9 HP. Not too good. Alright, so Jackie Boy, my best fighter. Oh man, I'm not sure about this one. Let me have Woodard go and capture him, and then we'll have Shinobi just kind of run back over here if he can. Alrighty. Whoa, we have another knockout. So Nab, how about Tiny? What are you doing, Tiny? Nab is no weapon, so perfect. Capture him. 2 captures is pretty good. Oh, that one's dead. No big deal. Woodard, stop getting shot by us. Woodard, keep walking. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Toxic Monkey. Nog is gonna die. Nog is done. Nog is done. Toxic Monkey, if you can. Move yourself, I would say over here. If you can. Batman, what are you doing behind non-coverage? Walk over here, my friend. Okay. That's what we're doing. Phoenix, what are you just hanging out here for, you maniac? Go and hang out at least behind coverage at the very least. They're running away. Not bad. Oh, this guy died. And they're running away. I'm not gonna go after him. No big deal. We caught 2 at the very least, right? Or is it 1? Only 1? I thought it was 2. No, it was 2. It was definitely 2. Harry Studio's still hanging out over here. Dark Owl's hanging out. Alrighty. So Woodard run off. Nab run off. And we have 2 more people to actually rename, which is pretty good. I'll accept that. That's a really acceptable offer. 1 and 2. Set you up friendly read chat. And then Harry, you're set up for recruitment. No, you're not, Harry. My bad. Set you up, and let's set Dark Alex up for recruitment. My bad, guys. I forget things at times. I rename you, but I forget that I'm supposed to set you up for recruitment too. So you guys run off, do your thing. And then, everybody over here, unrecruit, do your thing, whatever you have to. Oh, you have one more. We have Waka from Final Fantasy X. Alright, here's what we do. Woodard, you go and capture Waka. Now, here's the thing. I mentioned Final Fantasy X. I mentioned that for a reason. A lot of people don't like Final Fantasy X. Do I like Final Fantasy X? I love it. Here's the thing. I grew up, let me set Waka up here with recruitment number 1. I grew up with Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy VIII. When those games came out, I was still kind of like a youngster. I'm an old fart nowadays. I'm so old. It's not even funny. I miss my youth so much. I'm not a young guy anymore. I miss it. But I used to be a young guy. Like, most of us used to be a young guy, right? At least, like, you know, one of us that are, like, you know, in their 20s nowadays. I'm sorry. I'm in my 20s and I feel like I'm old as shit. If you're in your 20s, you don't feel like you're old as shit, then, you know, stop lying to yourself. We're old. Let's just get over it right now. We're fucking old as shit. Let me really quickly expand the stockpile for this area because I think we're running out of room really quickly. We'll do this. We're old. One way or another, we're just fucking old as shit. Let me do a structure over here. Do we want wooden doors or do we want power doors? I think we probably want... Yeah, let's just do power doors, I guess. Whatever. We have the metal for it. Not a big deal. We're old. One way or another, we're old. I miss the fact... Dude, it's weird because I think about a few years back. This is my thinking. I think about a few years back. And not even a few years, like... To me, it's probably like, let's say, oh, I don't know, like, let's say 5 years from now, we're done with non-lethal turrets. We're gonna do improvised turrets out here. Fuck it. We're gonna kill these guys at this point. It's too dangerous not to do this at this point, so let's do, right about there. We'll do sandbag like this, and like this, and we'll do the same right about here. There you go. I think about this all the time. Like, growing up, it's weird because usually when you're growing up, you're thinking you want to be older, right? You want to be respected, you want your opinion to matter, you want people to listen to you, so you're like, man, I wish I could be older, like, so people could take me serious, because when you're a kid, nobody takes you serious, right? And then you get older, and you're like, oh, cool. People are just paying as much attention as they used to when I was a kid. Whether that's a good thing or not, it's up to you. That's for you to figure out. You get older, and like, at least in my age, like I'm in my mid-20s. I feel like I'm relatively old. Like, it's weird. Like, I think about the games that I grew up with. And I think about, like, I mentioned Final Fantasy, right? I grew up with Final Fantasy. Like, I didn't grow up with Final Fantasy, like, 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, 6, depending if we're talking about the North American release or Japanese release. I grew up with NES. I never played Final Fantasy 1 or 2. I guess that there were in the NES. I know 1 was for sure. I'm not sure if 2 was. I think it was, though. I never played Final Fantasy on the Super NES, which was R3 and Japan 6. I never played that. I played Chrono Trigger. I played Mystical Ninja. I played a lot of games growing up as a kid, and you know, Chrono Trigger, whatever, growing up with an NES. But I grew up with an NES and an SNES. And it's so weird, because when I was kind of a little bit older, I was playing Final Fantasy VII. That was the big hit. Everybody loved Final Fantasy VII. And I love Final Fantasy VII too myself. Growing up, I started hating Final Fantasy VII for probably the wrong reasons. And nowadays I think back and I'm just kind of like, wow, I grew up in that fucking age when Final Fantasy VII was barely new. A lot of people love it now, but back in the days it was good. It was a really good game at the time. Nowadays people argue about its age bad, the story doesn't really make too much sense, yada yada yada. I'm old. Yeah, I'm fucking old. That's basically what I'm taking from all this. Alright guys, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna cut the episode here because I'm feeling rather depressed because I'm talking about my old age and it's getting to me, man. I'm an old man, I'm not a young person anymore. I have to rename some people though, so we have Dark Alex hanging out. We have to rename Hilgers and Minla and Waka. So we have 3 people to rename, and that's always really good because it means more people involved in the colony. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the series so far. If you are, leave a thumbs up, leave a like. The support always means a lot, guys, honestly, it really does. You guys don't think it does, but it really does. If you guys leave a like, YouTube's just kind of like, oh, people like this video, let's show it off, and, you know, then people are kind of like, oh yeah, Falcon, who is this Neanderthal talking about in the Rimworld? Oh, he's a relatively funny guy. Whether I'm funny legitly or I'm funny in the sense that I make fun of myself, that's not the case. What, you talking about I'm funny, huh? I'm like a clown? Either way, good fellow reference aside, I'll catch you guys next time.